Y'all ready?
Yeah, you ready?
Kinda sorta, not really. So it's Deshaun Stewart coming to you live, amateur boxer, Prince George's County, Maryland. Started boxing, I was probably around 12, on and off. Right now I'm 23. Just started taking it serious due to certain situations that, you know, transpired throughout the years. Upbringing was pretty cool for the most part. As far as like the whole athletic ability, I felt like I've always had it. I just had to figure out what I was gonna focus and put it towards, you feel what I'm saying? Boxing really, it helped me. I'd say that it helped me a lot. Me fighting all the time, being in the neighborhood, if we weren't slap boxing, it was fist fights and...
How long I used to book up this head to get to the wrestling. And then sledding down this jump too?
Be lit.
Yo, facts.
I started boxing because one of my homeboys, he used to box and he seen me fight in the neighborhood and he suggested that I should get into a boxing gym. I came in the house, I told my folks I was trying to box. And they didn't really take me serious. It's probably like 12 and a half at the time. My pops, he finally took me to a gym. Shout out to him. See, you come in the evening, you get real. There's a lot of people that come to like the evening time. Like,
yeah.
For the most part, it's like the pros that come in there, like they all fight pro. He fight pro, he fight pro. A month, 2 months into it, I was back out. Just due to financial stuff like that, couldn't afford it, we couldn't pay for it. So I was outside all the time. I was hanging around with the older kids, getting into whatever they were getting into, and that just became who I was at a point in time. I probably shouldn't have been into it at the age that I was. Like, I probably turned like 13 and a half, my parents split up. That's when I moved out here to Gaithersburg. I met all these guys, shout out to you guys. When I was first introduced to the community, I thought it was pretty cool. It was a little bit cleaner than what I've seen. I didn't really think too much like negative influences or this would be going on, that would be going on, but trust and believe, it gets real everywhere. It gets real.
What does it feel like when you walk in here for you?
So it's like a whole lot of weight is gone. You feel what I'm saying? When I'm in the house, not in here, for the most part, I be having a lot on my mind and stuff like that. And when I come in here, it's stuff like that. It's like therapeutic. Since then, things could have went differently. It was a lot of poor decision making. I should have graduated. Instead, you know, I was out here, I was outside, around all the negative influence and stuff like that when I should have been in the classroom getting my head right, you feel what I'm saying? From staying out late to drinking and smoking and doing all types of stuff when I should have really been in the gym focused on my craft and stuff like that. So when I came out here, it was drugs through the neighborhood. You probably drive through the neighborhood and you wouldn't think. That would be the last thing that you think would be going on in such a neighborhood, you feel what I'm saying? When I say drugs, I mean like, I'm not talking about marijuana and stuff like, you feel what I'm saying? Like,
my grandmother, she passed away when I was 13. When I came out here is when she passed away, so she never really got to see me full-fledged become a man like how I am now. And she never really got to see me take the boxing thing serious to where, I mean, she's probably looking down on me now and stuff like that. My grandfather, I feel like he probably seen the side where I was just like lost trying to figure everything out. He never really seen me focused and consistent on the whole boxing thing.
If I wasn't outside getting high or getting drunk or doing any of that, I could say that the studio was an outlet, but I wasn't really a rapper. I never looked at myself to be a rapper, so it was like, even when I was doing that, I would still try to get to the boxing gym and come home and tell my friends like, yo, I was in the gym today. When I wasn't boxing, I felt like my back was against the wall. And I say that to say, like, when I'm not boxing, I feel like nothing's going right. Like, everything's just out of whack. I could be at work or I'll be in school and just coming home not being able to do what I love is just like, I just felt out of whack. And I say that to say that you don't have to take the same path that I took. Everybody got a head on their shoulders. Everybody got a brain in their head. You need to get up and do something positive. Don't just sit around and let your talents just go to waste. Because like I said, it's a whole lot of distractions. When I came, it was a lot of distractions, and I let that take me off the path that I should have been on. That's kind of something that I blame myself for. Like now, going through the amateur ranks, because it's like, sooner or later, I'll be fighting guys that have well over 100 fights. They've been trained since they were about 8, 9 years old. They've been taking it serious. They didn't have the support in their corner. But that's one thing that I felt like is gonna set me aside from everybody else. I didn't have that support. I didn't have somebody to say, yo, wake up, let's go to the gym, we're about to go train. Nobody wakes up and tells me, yo, bro, make sure you go run those miles, 7-8 miles a day. I'm sparring, I'm doing everything on my own. I don't have somebody that calls me and make sure that I get these things done. Whereas everybody else, they have that support system. They may get a little lazy and their folks probably like, yo, you know, you gotta, I don't really have that. So that's gonna set me aside, kind of makes me go harder also. This is me, like, I got back into boxing, I was probably like 16, 17. Started going to Dante's boxing gym. It wasn't as consistent as it should have been, but I made sure that after school I would try to get there, work out for 2 hours and do what I had to do. We ended up moving back to Prince George's County, and that's where I really like put my foot on the gas and said, all right, this is what I'm gonna do. I started training with my coach now, Andrew Council, Triple Threat Boxing Gym. I started going there with my cousin. Shout out to Daquan. My goal was to always fight, regardless of how brutal the sport was or how intense the workouts were. I always said that I wanted to fight, even if it was just 1, 2, 3, 4 fights. I always wanted to make sure that I had that experience. I'm really supposed to be training like twice a day. Since I be working and stuff like that, I really only make it up there once in the morning. And if I don't work, then I come in the evening for like sparring and stuff like that, because that's really when we get the sparring in like the evening. The kids around. Sparring probably did it for me. Like actually getting in the ring and throwing punches at another person. You aren't on the street fighting, so it's completely different. It's like a game of chess, you feel what I'm saying? So it's like, I gotta watch what I'm doing and also worry about what he may do in return of a punch that I may throw or whatever the case may be. That's kind of what I fell in love with. My first fight was lit. I won on all 3 judges' scorecards. The worst part about it is probably trying to make weight, because I naturally walk around at probably like 140 some pounds. I fight at 132. The most I've ever been was like 152, and I had to lose all that weight. On a serious note, boxing really changed my life, because I could have been dead or in jail, if you want to be honest with you. Like, boxing really changed my life. From everything that I used to do and everybody that's been around me from the jump, when I was in all this negative stuff, doing all this wild stuff, and they see the flip now, it's like, I get commended for it, and it makes me feel good. Everybody that is around me now, and they may be doing something that they shouldn't be doing, or they may not be as motivated as I am, I'm willing to really sit there and talk to them and preach to them. I'm not gonna say preach to them, but that's what it is, you feel what I'm saying? I'm giving them a few words of advice. I just feel like that's my purpose. Honestly, that's how I feel. I wouldn't say I get this big kick out of trying to preach to somebody, but when I do sit down and when I realize that they're actually sitting there listening and taking heed to what I'm saying, I feel good about it. So it's something that I can see myself doing as like something besides boxing, like a motivational speaker probably or something like that. But for the most part, man, shout out to boxing, because it really did change my life, for real.